Greetings, it's Ian from RDO here. Welcome to a new album review, or I call this one the new old album. Because today we're looking at the new album from Neil Young. Don't have to say much about, we all know about Neil Young. Buffalo Springfield, Crosby, Still, Nash and Young, Crazy Horse. His solo career, and this is his 45th album, which was released on the 8th of December. Now it consisted of 13 tracks, which are solo acoustic recordings of some of his tracks from his past. There's a couple of tracks on here that are new as well, so we'll have a look at this new album. So the first track on here is I Am the Ocean, which comes from the Mirror Ball, of course. It's not a bad version, it's very stripped down. Unfortunately, because Neil's, he's 78 now, 78, 79, and he's not in the best of health, and you can tell it in his voice, but I don't hold this against him at all. We've got to understand he's never going to sing like he did back in 1970, whatever. But I still prefer the version on that. Then we get Homefires, which is a track that comes off Neil Young's Archives Volume 2. Very similar to the original recording. I really like this song. I've always liked this song. And it's not too bad. Okay, next up is a track from the Buffalo Springfield album, Burned. I don't like this version at all, I'm afraid. I prefer the original. It's just something, it's a little bit hollow, doesn't work for me. Then we have On the Way Home from the last time around. Love the original version of this, but unfortunately Neil just cannot hit them high notes anymore, and it falls a little bit flat for me. Then we've got If I've Got Love, one of the new songs. It's a nice song, and he does a good effort on that one. It's some nice guitar on it as well. Then we have A Dream That Can Last, which is from Sleep with Angels that he did with Crazy Horse. It's pretty lacklustre, unfortunately. It needs those harmonies. It's very, very shallow, this song. It's not terrible, but it just lacks that depth. Then we get Birds from After the Gold Rush. It's all right. They're all starting to sound the same, 7 tracks in. I don't know. Then we have another track from Sleep with Angels, My Heart. Isn't too bad. This was always sort of a more gentle song on the original, and it's very close to the original, so I'll give him that one. It's not too bad. When I Hold You in My Arms is from the Are You Passionate? One of them tracks that should never be done like this. It needs the electric guitar, it needs the depth, it just doesn't work for me. Mother Earth, which is one of my favourite songs he done with Crazy Horse. Absolutely brilliant on there, but this needs that beefy guitar. There's a little bit of keyboard on this, but it's not the same. It's not a bad version, but I think it just needs that gritty guitar. Mr. Soul from Buffalo Springfield again. One of my favourite songs on that album. It's nothing like the original, but I think this is my favourite song on this album. I think the harmonica works, and it's a really good song, and Neil's vocal on it is pretty good actually. Then we have Comes a Time, title track off the Comes from Time album. It's a good old-fashioned country song with a bit of nice violin. He's tried to capture it, and he doesn't do a bad version of it actually. Not too bad. And then we have the last track, Don't Forget Love, which is from Barn, Crazy Horse. Never one of my particular favourite songs by Neil Young, Crazy Horse. But it starts, the stripped down version is a little bit different, and it's not too bad. Okay, As with most of these albums that are stripped down, some tracks work, some don't. And it's the same with this album. I like some of the tracks and some of them it just didn't work. I've taken into consideration that Neil's voice is not as good as it was, and that's more down to his health. But it's good that he's still up there singing. But it's not an outstanding album. I think this is an album for the die-hard fans. I just find it a little bit flat in places. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10. Okay, that's all for today and for the week. Because next week is a busy old week on the channel. So I'm having a nice weekend off. So I'll be back on Monday for part 4 of the Steve Hillage story. And we're going to look at his solo stuff. And the next week's classic album is a classic from Joe Jackson, Night and Day. So have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you all on Monday. Bye for now.